we got to get to some pictures of the hail that we got.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Check this out.
Yeah, this came out
huge. It's an inch.
Yeah, this was out of Johnstown.
Yes. Oh, look at that. Fits right. It looks like a gumball or something.
Like side of a marble.
Yeah, bigger than a marble, I feel like.
Yeah. So, I mean, this was, for us, we were already in bed. But
again, I didn't hear any of it, which is crazy.
Lucky.
I think I
So
woke
lucky.
up and it wasn't the hail that woke me up. It was definitely the wind, though.
The wind, the thunder, the lightning. I mean, it was like someone was just flashing lights in your window.
Yeah, Meredith, thank you for coming on today to talk a little bit about this. When did this all get started?
Well, it was an interesting line of storms, and we were talking about this all week because sometimes you have the storms that come through early, and then it takes all the energy out of the atmosphere, and there's nothing left. We did have a couple of storms that popped up. You noticed Licking County had a severe thunderstorm warning in the afternoon, and then we saw the line mainly stay to the north. But for some of the eastern suburbs, there was enough energy that these storms just ramped up as the front was coming through overnight. We had severe thunderstorm warnings. We had a severe thunderstorm watch that was in place. So everything was in there to warn people of what was coming. And when we talk severe hail, that 1 inch, that's about the size of a quarter. So that's the minimum size of hail.
Yeah, and you could hear it. We want to play a little bit of sound that we got last night.
I mean, it's just, there's so much. And I know I was talking to Aaron earlier that, because he was here late last night until about 11:45, and he said there was one from one of the Department of Transportation cameras that like the interstate was just white.
Covered.
Well, I was looking because I was curious if there was any bigger hailstones. So we have what's called the Storm Prediction Center website. They're the ones that issue the alerts, the watches that we put out. So they did say that there were some hail reports of up to ping pong to golf ball size hail. That's 1.5 inches to 1 3/4 inches. I mean, that will do damage. Pea size, I don't worry as much. Quarter size, maybe. But once you start to get to that 1.5 inches,
Starts leaving dings in your car.
Right. And your roof can get really impacted by all that. That's
and
so
this is
big.
obviously just a week and a half after that windstorm.
Oh, my
but
gosh.
Also, the other
Crazy.
thing to talk about out of this whole thing was the crazy temperature spread.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, looking at Cleveland versus Portsmouth yesterday,
I was in Cleveland yesterday.
Yeah.
40 degrees up there. And then you just drive south and it was 84.
And I think Portsmouth was 88.
Yes. What?
It's insane.
Well, and the thing is, it's like, we have one more morning tomorrow that's going to be cold, and then we warm back up again. And if you watch my forecast from this morning, I called it the stepper, like you get on one of the Stairmaster. Literally, Mother Nature's on that because after Thursday, we could see something similar with storms. We're still really tying that down. Then we go down Friday, but then we go back up for the weekend. And I think that's kind of how spring is presenting itself this year.
So when these things form, obviously, like this kind of storm system that moves through, obviously we had a really warm day and now we're cold.
Right.
I guess that's these two fronts crashing into each other.
It's literally the clash of the seasons. And what happens is when you have these air masses, you have the extremes and they come together. I mean, it sounds like turmoil, right? Like you're putting, you're fighting stuff here. And that's the same thing that we see with these storm systems. Once you have a front come through, you have the warm front first, that brings the warm air in, then the cold air comes in behind it, and that system moves out. And it's a similar process when another storm system comes in. You typically get that warm air that comes in from the south. That's what boosts our temperatures up. That's what helped us get to that record high of 86 degrees yesterday.
It was glorious.
But that also makes things very unsettled, very nervous. You can almost feel in the air something's going to happen.
Yeah, you
at least I do.
Because you're like, it's
feel
not
the
supposed to be 86 degrees in March.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I know. Well, hopefully the weather shapes up in the next week or so. Once
I
we
want
approach
warmth,
April.
but I don't know if I want 80s warm.
Oh, I
that
really?
was too warm for me.
I loved laying out.
Yeah.
I played
Oh
some
my
golf
gosh.
yesterday. I mean, it was so nice to just be able to be out there and taking it all in. And now it's like, this morning I needed my winter coat again.
Right, I know.
I'm definitely more like I'm an upper 60s, 70s kind of person.
Well, then you'll like my forecast in a couple of days.
Yeah, I was looking at the numbers. The numbers in that sound great. The 80s just a little warm for me. So
A little hot.
this early in the year. Once acclimate to it, then it's okay.
And the humidity, people don't think you can get humidity here, but I thought yesterday my hair was like standing on end yesterday.
Yeah, it felt so good though. I loved it.
I know, it's always good for the skin.
Yeah.
You run cold though.
I am always cold, everyone.
That's true, so
I
am
am
I.
shaking in here right now in the studio.
It is chillier in here.
Where's
than it
my
usually
sweater
is.
when I need it?
I know. Well, hey, thank you for coming on today,
Always
Mary.
love
We
to be here,
appreciate
guys.
it. We have Tyvis Powell coming up. He's talking all about women's basketball,
Yeah.
March Madness.
It
So we'll be
is
right
certainly
back.
mad. All right.